Well, good evening. You're here this evening with the rest of the people in your cohort and your mentor to talk about the Integrated Leadership Project. And this videotape is a way of bringing to you some of the highlights of the project, what it's all about, give you sort of a sense of the big picture of the project, as well as some detail about what this project is about. Now, we don't want this to be an overload for you tonight, but we have devoted this whole evening to a discussion of the Integrated Leadership Project and various aspects of it that will enable you to pick up from this evening and begin to work through that process. And before I begin to talk about this overview and some of the aspects of the Integrated Leadership Project, I just want to mention a couple of things. First of all, you do have resources available to you to help you through this process. You have a mentor who will be advising you throughout this process, giving you feedback on the work that you turn in, and trying to work with you to develop a focus and to bring it to a conclusion. A person who will be available to talk to about aspects of the project at any point during your MSOL program experience. You also have a manual, an Integrated Leadership Project manual, or guide as it is called, and that should be something that you reference on a regular basis throughout this Integrated Leadership Project process. It does contain sections in here that are going to describe some of the things that you'll be doing. I think each time at the end of each course, we'll talk about response papers. I think each time you're ready to write a response paper, you ought to always go back and review the section in here regarding the response paper. There are other sections in here that I'll mention as we wrap up this presentation here, but I just want you to see this as a resource, as the resource that you go to before you go anywhere else when you're ready to start writing any aspect of the project, the Integrated Leadership Project Guide. We also have every Integrated Leadership Project that has been written so far in the program. And so we want you to know that those are here in the office. They're available for you to look at. Anytime you want to come out here and talk to any of us about aspects of the Integrated Leadership process with your mentor, you want to meet out here and talk, whatever the case may be. There's just a myriad of examples now that we've got on file here, and we keep them all here archived. And you can look at these, take a look, see what others have done, and see how we have tried to make them as consistent as possible across the various cohorts and across the various groups of people. So you have those here too. We have videotapes of people doing presentations. Some of those you'll see tonight in this session, but we have others as well. So we have plenty of resources. We want you to take advantage of those. All right, let's start talking about the Integrated Leadership Project itself. And remember, my purpose here this evening is to talk about the project as a whole, the sort of an overview, but also to look at some of the particular ways you can get started right now. I'm going to be looking at the purpose of the project. I'm going to be giving you an overview of the project, going to be looking at the various parts of the project, and we'll also be talking about some of the process that is involved in this Integrated Leadership Project. What's the purpose of this project? You've heard the word integrated used here many times already in this presentation, and that's really a description of what one of the purposes of this is all about. It's to create an integrative experience for you as an MSOL learner. One of the things about our curriculum that you're going to find out is that there's an integrated nature to this curriculum. Integrated in this sense, in terms of its content. Because the content is what we talk about in one course is referenced again in other courses. And when we are dealing with the content and subject matter in one course, we may be referencing things that are down the road as well. And so when you're done with this program, you'll understand increasingly, I should say as you move through the program, you'll understand this notion of how this material really is linked together. The Integrated Leadership Project is a way of demonstrating how you understand that linkage. In the MSOL program, we emphasize a lot the notion of it being a reflective process. a reflective experience, and this is what this is one way in which you can really take time and reflect on what's happening to you as someone who is in this program, what's happening to you personally, professionally, spiritually as well. It's an academic product as well as a reflective product. There are aspects of this project that are more academic and theory-based as well. So you have both the reflective and the academic aspect of it, and we're trying to pull those things together. It's to demonstrate your application of course content and some of the major concepts that you've encountered in this program to real-life organizational settings, so that you're demonstrating your understanding of how you can apply these things. And also to demonstrate the ways in which the MSOL experience has influenced your conception of what organizational leadership is, what it means to you. When this project is complete and you finish the final chapter, in essence you are defining what organizational leadership is to you. Now for an overview of the project. This is a program-long project, something that starts this evening officially and continues until the last session of this cohort. It's similar to a portfolio process. Now, if you understand a portfolio process and what that means, think about that for a moment. We'll be getting to that. And it also serves as a comprehensive experience. If you think about graduate programs, you'll often hear the word comprehensive exams or taking oral comps. We'll be getting to that in a moment, but that's one of the purposes, or that's one of the overview aspects of this program, of this project. It is a program-long project, first of all. It begins with this session. Actually, it began with the first session of MSOL, but officially we kick it off tonight. Each course contributes to the knowledge that is included potentially in the Integrated Leadership Project, and it culminates at the end of the MSOL experience. So it's something that you do throughout the program. This is not a project that is done at the completion of the program. It's not, well, I'm done with my courses and now I need to create this project. That's not how it goes. This is not an all-nighter. This is something that you do throughout the entire program. It's similar to a portfolio. Now by this I mean you create it. First of all, if you think of what a portfolio is, think of an artist's portfolio. It's what he or she has created. So you're creating this portfolio-like project. It contains various components that reflect the content of the MSOL program. Content and your experience and how you understand that content as well. It reflects your ability to integrate theory with practice. You might, for instance, look at an artist's portfolio, and an artist might be able to demonstrate his or her understanding of a particular school of artistic thought in the way it's been expressed in a painting, that kind of thing. You're integrating theory and practice. As you know, that's an emphasis of the program, and we want it to continue in this project as well. And it demonstrates the ways in which your understanding of organizational leadership has developed. And by this I mean, by reading through someone's integrated leadership project, you should be able to sense or to see how that person's understanding of organizational leadership developed over that 2-year period. I've heard students say, you know, I went back and read some of my early writings in the integrated leadership project, and they said, you know, I don't think that way anymore. Should I go back and change that? And of course I said, no. That's the whole intent of the project. The intent of the project is to demonstrate that change that's occurred. What is it that's happened over time? Why don't you think that way anymore? What has happened to change that perspective? And so that's the kind of thing we're interested in hearing about. But the project serves as that kind of tool, if you will, to be able for you to express that. And it serves as a comprehensive experience. And by that I mean you're able to pull together the significant learnings that you've achieved in the program, those key concepts that are important to you in understanding organizational leadership. You give a final oral presentation, and in that final oral presentation you are demonstrating to the members in the class and others